Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have another episode of Bits and Bobs. We have some good mods this week, a lot of variety, and you should find one or two mods that you'll want in your game. First up we have sCRAP. This is a mod that opens up the settlement crafting menu by letting you scrap more objects. With the mod you can scrap piles of trash, tiles, leaves, hedges, vines and tree roots, basically giving you more control over your settlements. On top of receiving fitting scrap items in return, you can also use the mod to clean up the settlement of all rubbish for a more aesthetically pleasing environment. We know a lot of people usually resort to using console commands to disable all the messy items, but this mod gives you a more fitting and, dare I say, more immersive way to do it. As of right now, the mod has some minor issues with resetting settlement items, like furniture and power armor frames back to their defaults when you first install the mod. Not everyone will experience these issues, but the best thing to do is to back up your save file, then test out the mod to see the effect it has. And of course, if you haven't built on the settlement yet, then you won't have any issues at all. All in all, a simple mod that I'm sure a lot of you will find useful. Today's second mod is Pleasant UI. UI mods were a must-have for Skyrim, and undoubtedly will be very popular for Fallout too. We've already seen the new dialogue mod that fixes the poor dialogue options in the base game, but Pleasant UI is more of a general overhaul. Straight away you'll notice a big difference with the mod. Everything is more compact and generally smaller than vanilla. The idea behind the mod is to make the UI less intrusive and more pleasant to look at, all the way from the crosshair to the inspection menu. The mod combines the compass and health bar into a single widget on the left, and then rescales everything you'd expect to pop up on that side. Then on the right is the AP bar with all of the right-handed pop-ups like ammo, grenades and the critical meter all scaled down and moved so it's nice and compact. When installing the mod you'll get to choose between different types of crosshairs, from a scaled down vanilla option, to a single dot, to a legacy version that imitates the crosshairs from previous Fallout games. All of these are animated just like the vanilla option. We really like what the mod offers. I've personally had the UI completely off for a lot of my playtime, but now I'm thinking I can keep it on with Pleasant UI installed. We're looking forward to seeing what the author does when he steps past the HUD and goes further into the other areas of the UI. The next mod we have is Crafting Workbenches. It adds 3 new workbenches to the game that you can place in your settlement. They're designed to fit alongside the vanilla benches, but they give you the ability to craft items instead of just mod them. The recommended version aims to offer a realistic and balanced crafting system, giving you the ability to craft all generic weapons, armor and clothing. However, when installing the mod you can turn on crafting for ammo, rare weapons and even power armor. If you want to craft your own gear in Fallout, you can't do much better right now than this mod. It's also a must have if you're planning on adding any clothing mods to your game, like the Traveler's Backpack we covered last week. Speaking of clothing items, there's a few worth sharing. A couple of mods have been ripping the vanilla clothing items apart, giving you more options to mix and match between the sets. Jackets and coats of the Commonwealth add 7 new items to the game, which are fully craftable thanks to the Crafting Workbenches mod. Another similar mod is Gloves of the Commonwealth, which as you can probably guess adds over a dozen new equipable gloves to the game. These can be worn with any set that doesn't already have a set of gloves, and it's a great way to add a bit of flavour to your gear. Or if you're looking for something different to the Traveler's Backpack from last week, maybe you'll want the Wearable Postman shoulder bag. The great thing about this mod is that it offers 14 different variants of the bag thanks to retextures. So maybe you don't want the standard bag but instead want a Vault Dweller one, or a medic bag, or one that's just simply a different colour. All of these clothing mods give you more choice in your character's appearance and work extremely well alongside crafting workbenches. And finally, today's last mod is another fantastic retexture by Millennia. This time it's for the combat shotgun, and again the quality of the textures is extremely high and fitting to his original mod. There's nothing else really left to say on top of what we've already said in the past, but we couldn't go without at least giving it a shout out. Hopefully once he's done a few we can get a pack together in a single download. And that's it for today's video. As always, links for all of today's mods can be found down below, and if you enjoy them, be sure to leave endorsements for the mod. And just before we wrap up, we'd like to thank WeMesh for sponsoring this episode. WeMesh is a video watching app that perfectly syncs videos between you and a group of friends from anywhere in the world at the exact same time. It's fantastic for sharing movie trailers, watching let's plays, or even our videos. You can even talk straight over the app via text or voice too, and to get it today you can find a link down below. And as always, be sure to check out d2a.com for some cheap games, and thanks for watching.